Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for joining us and watching us on channel 347 on DSTV. We have the founder of Sheika Koutha International Projects in studio, chatting about some of the great work that they do. And the founder, Sheika Koutha bint Mohammed Rushdie, is in studio chatting to us. Sheika, Jazakallah so much for coming into studio. Always a pleasure hearing about organizations like yourself that make a difference as well. So shukran so much.
Khair al-jaza.
The other project, we spoke about a building project that you were involved in before the break, but you also are involved in a feeding project.
Absolutely.
How did that come about? I would imagine the logistics about going into a project like this started years ago.
Absolutely. In fact, this morning I was picking up one of the ladies in the office, and this youngster comes and he says, "Sheikha, is it you?" And I say, "Yes, my boy, it is me. How are you doing?" He calls his friends, and he's, probably a naughty boy on the street. And he says, "Sheikha, I'm not smoking anymore." I said, "I'm so happy to hear." And he tells them, "This is like my mom. She looked after us, in the RDP areas." And I said, "You just need to make dua for me, my boy." And he says, "Always, always." And you would think that these people forget, and they would stand in the line every week. So we run soup kitchens for like 10, 20 years, alhamdulillah. Okay. Last week and the week before, we gave out parcels before Ramadan.
Right.
Because everybody waits for Ramadan, which is great because the reward is so great, Luqmaan. But we don't realize that there's hungry people.
Sure.
And subhanAllah, once we all pitch in, and I always say, we should be less Red Indians, or rather less chiefs and more Red Indians.
Gotcha.
Because everybody just wants to be a chief out there, and we've got so little helpers and people. So going out there and helping the organizations that has done this work for years. Yeah. As Allah mentions, unity is success and unity is strength, and that's what He wants us to achieve.
Absolutely.
So yes, it's an arm and a leg, and I had a non-Muslim, a white lady, calling me a couple of days ago, and she says, "Sheikha, I'm so stranded. I've got no food in the house." And I just decided I'm going to send out some message to my people. And subhanAllah, one lady responded with so many parcels. I went out, and that lady came from hospital, and she thanked me. I said, "Don't thank me, thank Allah." Yeah. Subhanallah, because we are only the steering wheel, and Allah Ta'ala is the actual sabab of everything.
So what are some of the areas that you currently work in, Sheikha?
We do Athlone, large part of Athlone. We do a lot of squatter camps. Okay. We go out to madrasas. In fact, last week we were at a very poor madrasa, alhamdulillah. We go to townships. We go to orphanages. So we prepare such a lot just before Ramadan. This work we don't just do in Ramadan. Right. We do this throughout the year. So it's a lot of preparation. It's always looking for volunteers, and volunteers, mashallah, some come with amazing aptitudes and attitudes, and volunteers also have needs because they need taxi fare, they need food themselves, they need assistance. And it's amazing that a lot of poor people, Luqmaan, actually are out there wanting to help other poor people.
Lovely.
Subhanallah.
As they say, pay it forward.
Absolutely.
That's always a saying that I live by as well, because often enough help comes from the strangest and weirdest and wonderful places.
So amazing.
And these are the wonderful hearts. So primarily in the Western Cape at the moment, do you often ask people to come and assist, volunteers? Can they come and do that?
Absolutely. So if there's anybody that has an hour or two, a day or two per week, we welcome them. Because, a lot of times people work Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday. They don't find the time to commit themselves. So we always tell volunteers, it's not about how much time, it's about if you're offering time. Yeah. It's not about how much money you're giving, it's about if you're responding to the cause. Subhanallah. Because a lot of people want to give R1 million, but they only have 1,000 or 100,000. It doesn't mean they shouldn't be giving. Sure. Same with the volunteers. If you have an hour or two, mashallah, tabarakallah, ahlan bikum. That's what we say to people.
Beautiful. The other project that I know that you do embark on is the Qurbani project.
Yes, that will be taking place, inshallah, in the time of Eid al-Adha, mashallah. And alhamdulillah, we've been doing Qurbani projects for a good number of plus minus 15 years. And we've reached quite a number of countries, alhamdulillah.
Okay. What are some of the countries that you...
We've done Vietnam, we've done Malawi, we've done India, we've done Zimbabwe. And I want to say I'm making dua for our Honorable Mufti Menk as well, because Mufti is such an amazing man. I've been quite a number of times in his home and reaching out to his community. I remember Mufti landing at the airport and coming straight to me to thank me because I was a guest speaker at his institute a good number of years ago. And it's just amazing to meet amazing people, subhanAllah, that's like-minded, mashallah. And yes, so I've reached out in his country to his ulum as well, mashallah, a broader part of not only his town, but closer to his town for other communities. I've been several times to Zimbabwe for da'wah, for public guest speaking, for community projects, for Qurbanis, alhamdulillah, Malawi, India. The job goes on, Brother Luqmaan. Yes.
Okay, I can imagine. People watching this interview often have organizations that started from a small pot of food, built up and built up and built up, where they now supply hundreds and thousands of people, alhamdulillah. But for somebody watching this interview that's thinking, okay, you know, I've always wanted to do more in my community. I've always wanted to get into the humanitarian space. What advice do you have for them?
I would say get involved, because there's so many people that's needed. The organizations that's doing this work like ourselves, you need people to pitch in. Whether somebody comes along with 100 Rand, 100,000, like I mentioned, 1,000 Rand, 1,000,000 Rand, 10 million, you need them to pitch in. And that's so important at the end of the day, because, and those people who have the longing, because we're all on a time bomb, and Allah Ta'ala is not going to question how many garages we owned, how many millions we had in the bank. What did we do with it? You know, so that should be the aim and the objective, is what am I doing for my akhirah? How many seeds am I planting? I always tell my people, plant as many seeds as you do or as you can. Don't look back and don't expect reward and compliments for any or from anybody except from Allah Rabbul Alameen.
I mean, good advice. For those of our viewers that are watching, how can they get involved? What is the need for your organization right now?
We'd like them to donate their lillah, their fitra, their zakat, their interest, assist us with the mothers who need parcels, the fitra, the groceries, Eid clothing, abayas, you know, if there's any people who's got, if they don't have 10 bags of good clothing, maybe they've got a half a bag or one bag, which is beautiful, subhanallah. And get involved with our building project, because we need that stable place of operation. Maybe there's somebody out there that can donate a building, a permanent place of operation, inshallah. We can continue with the great work. That's also part of the great need at the moment.
Okay. Are you currently a registered NPO?
We are a registered organization.
Okay,
yes,
so Section 18A certificate you can give to...
We can organize that, inshallah, no
inshallah.
problem.
That's
We're also a
great.
PTY for our school registration and our training, alhamdulillah.
Okay.
So we want people to know that.
What are some of the work that you do within schools?
Management training, motivational training, secretarial skills, alhamdulillah.
Okay.
So once we're going to be up and running, it will just be an inculmination of what we've done that will continue, inshallah.
That's so important these days as well in our communities, because we all want to be on the same page and operate in a professional mannerism as well.
Yes, yes.
Do you find that our communities are helping themselves, or do you find that the need is still so big that we need to reach out?
The need is still so big. The only people that can help themselves are those financially by the means. So what we do is we offer people free training. So we give organizations and businesses the opportunity to say, I will train, or I will pay for 10 people that needs to be trained. And that's how we empower, subhanAllah. But the people who come for empowerment, they need meals, they need gifts, they need breakfast, they need lunch, they need taxi fare. So yes, this is what it's all about humanitarian empowerment, alhamdulillah.
Wonderful. How do our viewers get hold of you if they'd like to correspond, if they'd like to help, if they'd like to assist?
I mean, do we give the number on air now?
You're welcome to do.
It's
or
plus,
social media that you have.
Yes, they can Google us. I always say Google doesn't lie about you.
True.
That's the one thing about Google, mashallah. So you can Google Sheikha Koutha or Sheikha Koutha International Projects. You can view it on TikTok, YouTube, social media, Twitter, all of those platforms, alhamdulillah. And if they'd like to contact our office WhatsApp, which is plus 2768 592 4255, and we'll communicate with them from there, inshallah. We're hoping for a miracle this Ramadan, bi'idhnillah, ameen.
Sheika Koutha, jazakallah so much for coming into studio, for always being there for our community, for your strength, for your du'as. We ask that you keep us in your du'as this Ramadan and for the years to come as well, inshallah, and may all your future projects grow from strength to strength, inshallah.
Ameen. And jazakallah for you, Brother Luqmaan. You keep up the good work, and may Allah give you the health and the umr and the strength to carry on.
Ameen.
And all the success to Hilaal. May Allah take them from strength to strength. Ameen.
Ameen. Jazakallah, Sheikha. All
Shukran,
the
my
very
dear.
best. Assalamu alaikum.
Ameen. Wa alaikum salam.
That's the founder of Sheika Koutha International Projects. And if you'd like to know more, do check them out on all the good social media platforms. Be back tomorrow between 5 and 6:30, inshallah. Do join us for another episode of Hilaal Live from the technical division, Sohail Barnes. And for myself, Luqmaan, Shadrach, have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.